This episode of the Maintenance Mindset Minute is brought to you by AppWork. AppWork, it's more than just an app that you keep in your pocket. It's advanced business intelligence for operating your multifamily community. So on today's episode, I'd like to talk about your swimming pool. Right now, as I'm recording this, it is 95 degrees outside and it's not even lunchtime, which means here in the South, it's still going to get hotter. Chances are your swimming pool is going crazy. You've kept it balanced. It's after the beginning of swimming pool season, so it's been up and running for a little while now. Are you taking care of your chlorine? And I'm not just talking about double checking the chlorine every day. For proper chlorine operation, we should be maintaining a minimum of 1 part per million. Maximum in most states is 8 to 10 parts per million. Generally speaking, keep it around below 5 for normal operation, unless you're super chlorinating, and that's the best thing that you can do to prevent algae. What I'm asking with the question, are you taking care of your chlorine, is if you have an outdoor pool, when was the last time you checked cyanuric acid? Cyanuric acid is to chlorine what sunscreen does for your skin. In other words, sunscreen that maintenance technicians, if you're not using it, make it a habit. What sunscreen does is it protects your skin from the adverse effects of ultraviolet radiation. Your swimming pool can have problems caused by ultraviolet radiation as well. You see, ultraviolet radiation causes chlorine to go into overdrive and act beyond the energy level that it normally takes to maintain the sanitization and oxidation of the pool. And the reason why this is important is if your swimming pool uses Trichlor type of chlorine. You'll know that because that's the one that is sold in the bricks or the bucks or the stick. And we add chlorine to the pool by putting it into a pressurized chlorinator. Well, what keeps those sticks, bricks, and pucks from exploding, because chlorine is an oxidizer, what keeps it from exploding in that pressurized chlorinator is cyanuric acid. So that means that your cyanuric acid levels, if you're using Trichlor over the course of the season, will constantly rise. Now, this is a problem because with no cyanuric acid in your outdoor pool, the ultraviolet radiation will cause that chlorine to burn off quickly, meaning you will use more of it than what you need to. This is a huge tip to keep your budget down on pool chemicals. But the problem is too much cyanuric acid can actually stop chlorine from doing the job that we need it to do. That job is oxidizing, which helps to keep our swimming pool from turning murky and cloudy. And the second job it does, which is the one that most of us are familiar with, is sanitizing. Normal levels of cyanuric acid are between 30 and 50 parts per million. It is quite common and very easy for the cyanuric acid over the course of the summer to get above 100 to 150 parts per million just because we're doing what we're supposed to do. In other words, maintain those chlorine levels that we talked about earlier. The critical moment here is that if you've had your swimming pool open for approximately a month now, your cyanuric acid levels using Trichlor are probably getting higher than what we want. In order to reduce cyanuric acid, you have to drain the pool. Drain some of the water away, refill it with fresh, and then recheck your cyanuric acid levels. You want to maintain them in between 30 to 50 parts per million. Thanks for joining me today on this episode. It's been sponsored by AppWork. Head over to www.appworkco.com and check out their offerings. It's a really cool system. I hope you'll give it a look. Thanks again, and I'll see you somewhere.